Have you ever looked out at your lawn and just sighed? You know, when it looks more like a sad, patchy quilt of dirt and weeds than that perfect green carpet you see in magazines? Well, you are definitely not alone. And in this explainer, we're going to show you how to fix that problem and get incredible results, like almost overnight.
Okay, let's just start with a number that might actually blow you away. A really great-looking, healthy lawn can boost your property's value by up to 15%. Seriously, we're not just talking about curb appeal here. This is a real, tangible return on your investment.
But honestly, who has the patience to wait an entire season, or maybe even longer, for results? The real question on everyone's mind is, how do you get that perfect lawn, fast? That's the puzzle we are going to solve right now.
For so many of us, that dream lawn feels miles away, right? We're kind of stuck in this endless cycle of fighting weeds, trying to patch up bare spots, and just wondering why our grass never looks quite right. It's a super common and very real dilemma.
When you decide to start over, you really have two main paths you can go down. Seeding, which is kind of the slow and steady but also risky race, or sodding. And look, if seeding is a marathon, sodding is the 100-meter dash. It is the instant gratification answer to all your lawn problems. So yeah, let's focus on that instant answer. We're going to break down what sod actually is and exactly why it can deliver a complete lawn transformation, literally in a single day. This right here is the absolute core difference. With seeding, you're basically starting from bare dirt and just hoping for the best. But with sod, you're getting a fully grown, mature lawn from the very second it's installed. It's an instant upgrade in every sense of the word. So what is this stuff exactly? Well, think of it this way. Sod is basically a living carpet of grass. It's professionally grown on a farm to be super dense and healthy, and then it's harvested with a whole layer of soil and its root system completely intact. It just arrives at your home, ready to be unrolled. Now you might be thinking, hey, I can unroll a carpet. But here's the crucial part. That instant lawn will only survive and thrive if the groundwork, the foundation, is absolutely perfect. And that's where true expertise makes all the difference. This quote really gets to the heart of the matter. Depending on where you live, like in places with heavy clay soil, the ground itself can be your biggest enemy. Clay soil can literally choke out new roots, and it just doesn't drain well. So simply laying sod on top of unprepared clay, that's a guaranteed recipe for watching your investment just wither away.
So how do the pros beat that tough soil? Well, it's a really meticulous, almost scientific process. First, they do an assessment, looking for problems like compacted soil. That's ground that's been pressed so tight that roots just can't get through. Then, it's a total clean slate. All the old grass, all the weeds, everything is removed. Next up is grading, which is so important for drainage. They create this gentle slope so water flows away from your house. But the real magic happens when they amend the soil, mixing in nutrient-rich compost to break up that dense clay. And only after all of that is the ground perfectly smoothed out and finally ready for its new green carpet. Of course, the quality of the sod itself is a huge piece of this puzzle. Professionals don't just grab any old roll of grass. They source high-quality sod directly from turf farms. They're looking for uniform thickness, really dense grass, and absolutely zero weeds. But the most critical factor? Freshness. It has to be cut and installed within about 24 hours. You know that sod you see sitting on a hot pallet at a big box store for days? Yeah, that's a dying product before you even get it home.
The installation itself is all about precision. Pros start with a perfectly straight line, usually along a driveway or a sidewalk. Then, and this is key, they lay the sod in a staggered brick-like pattern. This is how you make the seams invisible and stop ugly gaps from forming later. Every piece is pushed tightly against the next and then custom cut to fit perfectly around every curve and corner. After it's all down, they use a heavy roller to press the sod down, making sure the roots get solid contact with that amazing soil they just prepared. The final and maybe the most important step is to water it immediately and water it deeply.
Okay, so with all that in mind, let's put these two methods right next to each other. This is where the choice becomes crystal clear, really depending on what you're looking for.
All right, let's put them head to head. The very first thing you'll notice is time to usability. With sod, you can be having a barbecue on your brand new lawn in just a couple of weeks. With seed, you're looking at a couple of months before it's ready for even light use. Now, the big elephant in the room is initial cost. And yep, sod costs more up front. But look at the other benefits. With weed competition, sod is an instant winner. It creates a dense barrier that weeds just can't punch through. And for erosion control, sod holds your soil in place from day one, while a seeded lawn can just wash away in a heavy rain. The bottom line, if you want fast, guaranteed results, sod is the clear choice.
But the investment doesn't stop when the installation crew drives away. That first month is the most critical period to make sure those roots take hold and that your investment pays off for years and years to come. So here's your game plan. Week 1 is all about water, 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 keeping that new sod consistently moist. By week 2, you can do your first mow, but only when the grass gets tall enough. Then in week 3, you switch up your watering strategy, watering less often but for longer, to train those roots to grow deep into the soil. And by week 4, congratulations, your new lawn is established and ready for normal life.
This brings us to the final and most crucial consideration. We saw the price per square foot on the chart, but believe me, that is not the whole story.
You see, the true cost of a new lawn isn't just what you pay for the materials and the labor. It's the hidden cost. It's the price of failure. It's all the money and the time you might waste on a DIY project that just doesn't work out, leaving you right back where you started, but with a lot more frustration and an emptier wallet.
And that's really the final thought I want to leave you with. As you're weighing your options, the question to ask isn't just, can I do this myself? It's, can I afford for this to fail? When you really think about the investment of time, money, and all that effort, sometimes the sure thing is the smartest choice. Thanks for joining us.